Hello everybody, my name is Stratnos and welcome to my Great Vault video for this week. It's going to be one of the biggest Great Vault videos probably of the season, although this week is it's dungeon week, I think, so I might do this on a bunch of guys potentially, depending on what happens this week. So up first is my Paladin. My Paladin last week was pretty low item level, now up to 662. I crafted a mythic weapon and heroic boots with the Nerubian doubling embellishment. And then I sent a bunch of upgrades based on where the sim told me to put just for 662s on my hero track, because the upgrade on the hero track from 658 to 662 is a bigger jump than the next one of 662 to 665. That was basically to maximize my power last week. We kind of sent all of our power last week to try and get as strong as possible for last week, because the thought process was this week wasn't going to be as important to optimize for, and we probably weren't going to grief ourselves that much for this week. It does mean it's potentially a little bit suboptimal here, where I may pick up something like a chest piece. If I get myth track chest piece, necklace, something like that, I'm going to regret having spent the 15 gildeds to take these up to 662. But worst case, I'm down 15 gilded in one of these slots, right? And notably, my legs are champion track and haven't been, therefore, sent up to 662. So myth track legs would probably be the best thing I can find here. And then I can just dunk a bunch of good gilded crests into them, especially we've killed up through One Arm Bandit now in the raid, so they could be high item level legs out of the vault here. A good trinket could also be cool. I'm thinking of going loot spec prot, just so that I could see the tank trinket from Priory, because that's one of the better trinkets that I could find. And there's not really a lot of DPS trinkets that I actually want. I mean, there's some good ones, but a lot of the good ones will drop on either tank or DPS spec. There are a couple of garbage tank trinkets that we're hoping to avoid, but yeah, that's the thought process so far. So I think legs are probably the best outcome here, but really, we've already got a helmet, we've already got a weapon. Ooh, Orient Sentry's leg guards right in the top slot. That's what we like to see here. Okay, so right away, it's going to be at least good. Let's see if it's even better than this. Oh, there's the chest piece as well. Okay, well, I believe that these are the same stat budget slots, and the legs represent a higher item level increase. I will be losing the avoidance that I have on my legs, but that's probably worth it for the extra 4 item levels that this would represent. And then we've got some hero track gloves here. I do have champion track in my gloves as well. Gloves are a lower stat budget slot. This is hero track as well. Definitely not considering this. So it's almost certainly going to be the legs. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a haste mastery ring. Great stats. But this is not much better than my current ring, which is also 662. It's on the hero track, but I wouldn't spend gilded crests on this item this week anyway, probably, so that's whatever. Remnant of Darkness, a trinket that was recently buffed. I believe it's still pretty bad, but my trinkets are kind of bad. My trinkets are a tank trinket, an energy drink. I have a couple of DPS trinkets as well, a big red button, a funhouse lens, but my trinkets are probably just going to stay kind of weak here. And then, yeah, we've got some delve trinkets, a siphoning light brand if I want it. But yeah, okay, this looks like it's almost certainly going to be the pants here, especially because I believe the pants drop from Styx Bunk Junker. Yeah, they do. And that's a boss I'm killing on my Death Knight, not my Paladin. So the only thing would be if there's good off-piece pants from somewhere. And those don't drop until Mugsy. So yeah, I probably am just able to take this before Reclear even, because I don't think there's anything that would really change my decision here. Really good. Really happy to see pants here. Would it have been too much to ask for a little bit of leech or avoidance? I guess. Speed. I have a lot of speed. Look how much move speed I have just running around here, 121. Could use some more, though. You could always use more speed. Still, though, pretty happy with this vault. Again, I'm not going to take it just now, just in case somehow, something happens. I gotta check to make sure, like, if I'm the only plate pant needer, maybe I'll take the chest piece instead so that I could try and soak the pants from Mugsy, or maybe try and delay it until we kill Mugsy, something like that, just to make sure that this item doesn't go to waste if it does drop. I'm pretty sure there will be other people who can take this item profitably, but gotta make sure with that sort of thing on a main character. So, alright, that's Paladin. All right, here's my Death Knight. Still 664, so actually higher item level than my Paladin. I sent some stuff on it last week just to make re-clear easier. We like one-shot Styx and Sprocket, which are the two bosses that this character was in on last week. Probably will be in on them again on this character this week, just to make re-clear as painless as possible. But yeah, I sent some Mythic Pants and Heroic Boots with the Focusing Lens embellishment on this character. This seemed slightly worse than crafting a two-hander, but I didn't want to craft a two-hander, so I didn't, because this way I can still take a two-hander out of my vault if I get one. Loot spec Unholy. Yeah, I don't really want the Priory Tank Trinket as much on this guy, I think, because already got a Sephorium Pacemaker. Let's see a nice two-handed weapon. Ooh, there it is. A Haste Mastery, a haste-heavy two-handed weapon as well. That is really good. There's also some Mythic Boots I've already got crafted there, and a Heroic back piece. Yeah, all right, I mean, really happy. One of two myth slots in here is going to be a haste-heavy weapon. That is really, really good, and then we'll just dunk all of our Gilded Crest into this thing this week. And yeah, we're going to lose the Galley Tech limited edition dot, which is nice. That's a nice dot, but this character is not going to be... I'm not going to have this again until I get Mythic Capital Punisher on this guy, which probably won't be too long. I think slotting this character into Mythic Gallywix. Mythic Gallywix should be pretty easy to slot all of my tanks into. If anything, it's going to be Muggsy, where replacing my Paladin's going to be harder for a while. But yeah, really good vault there. I've got the new background, by the way. I finished my Delver's Journey this season, because I've been doing a lot of delves while the delving is good. These first few weeks, you know, getting those champion and hero track pieces onto as many characters as possible. So I've got that background now, finished the Delver's Journey, and got a couple of extra vault rows on some characters as well as a result. Pretty much all my characters, actually. Because you also get so many Gilded Crests. If you can do tier 11s, which even on my most undergeared characters, now that my Bran is level 80, it's like not too bad to do a tier 11. You get 31 Gildeds per week if you do your 3 Gilded for the stash. That's 7 each. And then you get 10 for using a map in one of those, which you can force with the Wave Scrambler that you can buy with Undercoin. So, yeah, each of my characters is getting 31 Gilded a week. It's actually enough to, like, I can just craft with every spark that I get on all my guys and never need any mythic loot. Anyway, here's my DH. I did 2 normal bosses. So I did 2 normal bosses on this character to fix the normal lockout that it's holding so that I can... Yeah, I have a normal lockout with just Gallywix, because we're going to do some normal Gallywixes this week. And this character was holding a normal last 3 lockout. Now it's holding a normal Gallywix lockout. Let me reactivate that now as well. And yeah, so we got the Fell Dealer's Visor here. We're not going to take that, because that's champion track. There are Mythic Shoulders. We might well take that. That's probably pretty good. And then there's also a Mythic Cloak here, a Verse Crit Cloak. But I think we're just going to end up going for the tier in this slot. Oh, there's also a Hero Track Noggin Fogger Ultimate Deluxe. My understanding is this trinket was buffed and is now quite good. Getting one on the Hero Track is as high as it goes as well. But yeah, we're just going to take the tier shoulders. This is the second time that this character is passing an exciting trinket for a Myth Track tier piece. But, you know, like, this is definitely part of the BIS for this character, right? Whereas some weird trinket may or may not. I don't know. May or may not be good. All right, here's my monk. My monk is also pretty geared, 658, 4-piece. Did a bunch of keys last week as well, so I think I've got 2 M+ slots in my vault here. Loot spec should probably be Windwalker, Mistweaver. Oh, let's go Brewmaster, actually. I'd like the crit trinket from Priory, which you can only get as tank spec. We're not going to see it here, but we are going to be offered the Servo Arm Bindings. Now, I did already craft... I actually crafted all the way up to Mythic. I had so many extra Gilded Crests, I just sent Mythic Bracers. Or Myth Track Gloves. Now, that's good. Speed on some gloves. Definitely like that. I think gloves are probably going to be my off-piece on this character, because I'm pretty sure they have kind of bad stats. Let's see. You can always check this. There's 2 different places you can check what tier, what your gloves have. One is item sets, and you can see here that they're haste verse. So haste, not a great stat for Brewmaster. Very good for Windwalker, actually. The other place you can check it, actually there's 3 places, I guess. The other place you can check it is you can just go to the Catalyst and see. And then the final place, and this works for tier set slots as well, is if you go into the Appearances tab, you can link it to yourself. So I can just whisper myself this item, for instance, and then click on it and get the... So that would work for the belt as well, for any of the off pieces too. So if you're ever looking for the stats on something, that's one way of doing it. Other option is to just fly over to the catalyst. There's also usually a Wowhead page that has all of it too, but yeah, now you know. All right, here's my warrior. My warrior did, I think, just the one key and then a heroic clear. Most of a heroic clear. Actually didn't do the last two bosses. Loot spec. I don't really want anything prot anymore. I've already got this Tome of Light's Devotion on this guy. So let's go arms. And maybe we can get a big two-hander or something. I guess I could use another one-hander, but realistically, I'm probably going to end up crafting in that piece anyways. Okay. Nothing crazy in the raid slots. We've got a Crit Mastery Ring or a Verse Mastery Bracers. My Bracers would be a very large item level upgrade here over my current 626 slot there. But so would the ring. Now, I'm pretty sure I have I have a high item level ring in my bags that I've just been too lazy to put on. It's worse stats as well, so I've kind of been putting it on. I don't have high item level bracers in my bags, though. So yeah, it looks like it's probably just take these Verse Mastery Bracers, be reasonably happy with it. Maybe catalyze them later. Maybe not. Either way, it should be fine. Because yeah, this ring is not particularly compelling stats, and I already have a hero track ring, so we can wait on like a nice haste crit ring or something. Surely I'll pick up a nice haste crit ring at some point on this guy. All right, here's my druid. My druids did a 2 out of 8 mythic run, actually, so we've got mythic bosses in the vault. The reason I chose my druid to do that is because there's actually a weapon for druid that drops off of the first boss. So, and it's good stats as well. So I figured add this thing to my vault, get 2 out of 8 mythic. This is like one of the best bang for your buck, because there's a lot of characters for which Vexy and Cauldron of Carnage don't really drop anything good, right? Like obviously, okay, Tear Gloves is maybe good for you, sure, whatever, right? But like you could just catalyze any slot there. But this unironically is like a pretty bis weapon. Obviously, it's not going to be better than... Oh, actually, it is. It's just going to be better than the weapon, because there's no Galley Tech limited edition for Feral or Guardian. So yeah, this is probably just a bis weapon that I could get out of the vault here. So let's see if we can hit it. We've got one slot for it. I guess 8 items plus there was an unlikely chance of getting a higher item level tier piece that isn't from the bosses we killed, but doesn't matter. We hit the shift stick, all part of the perfectly calculated plan. There's also an avoidance trinket here. Unfortunately, it's the modular platinum plating, which this trinket was really bad back in BFA, and I believe it is still really bad now. There's also the tier shoulders, which is cool. And then some delve stuff, avoidance boots. But yeah, obviously we're going to take the shift stick. This entire operation was designed to get this item on this character, so my master plan has worked, and I am now a genius. I didn't even craft last week, because I would have crafted a weapon, but I figured, okay, let's take the chance to see if we can hit this in the vault, and now I can craft, I don't know, off piece and something. I don't know what I'll craft on this guy, but I'm definitely sending some gilded to upgrade that stick, so very happy there. All right, here's my mage. Welcome to the rat section of the video. Here's my mage at 633. Actually, how am I doing on gildeds on this guy? I'm 30. There's the 31 gilded. Actually, I did a key and some tier 8 delves instead of tier 11s on this guy, because I leached off of somebody else's wave scrambler, which I'm not going to do anymore, because you get a lot less gildeds when you leech off of the wave scrambler, even though you get that hero track piece of loot. Now, this character has 1 hero candle confidant, and then I forget what my other hero track piece was, because I've done wave scrambler, I think 2 weeks on this guy. I think maybe I just got the confidant, actually. Maybe I just did the 1 week. Oh no, I've got, there it is, hero pants, but I'm not breaking tier yet, but soon I will. But yeah, let's see what's in the vault here. I also did a key, so we could have anything from the a two-handed staff. Now, unfortunately, this is the Rookery staff, which I believe is not particularly good. And I was maybe going to craft into this slot. I could also take tier pants and then catalyze into 4-piece as soon as I get Keystone Master, or wait till next week and get the 3rd catalyst charge that way. Yeah, I need to actually see how bad this thing sims. Actually, I guess I can put it in guild chat. Okay, yeah, allegedly, bad lol. Somebody thinks it's good for, but then I think they were thinking of the Mechagon staff. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's still better than... I mean, obviously it would still be better short term than the Vagabond's Bounding Baton. He says it's fine, I should take it. Yeah, I mean, it's probably better than taking Hero Track Tier, right? Because Hero Track Tier is so irrelevant. This is still a, like, crest save, I guess, thing. I don't know. I kind of want to craft into weapon, but... I'm probably going to take that. I'm not going to take it yet. Maybe I'll take a socket. Maybe I'll be really stingy and take a socket and just craft weapon right now on this character, because as soon as I do my delves for this week, I could craft a 675 weapon and just have Ascendance on it instead. So I'll run some sims and see how much better or worse that would be. I also have to decide if this character, which is taking a very long time to log out, I have to decide whether this character I want to actually play Fire on this season, because they buffed Arcane. Could be an Arcane season for me. Or I could actually try and play multiple specs. Usually on most of my rats, I'm just playing one spec per guy per season. And I kind of try and change it around. But maybe this season I'll play more on my Mage. Here's my Shaman. My Shaman, I'm trying to play Resto on this season. I just want to see what Tank Bran is like in the Delves so that I can have an informed opinion whenever I talk about delves and stuff. So I did my 3 delves on tier 11 as Resto with healer with Tank Bran. It was pretty tough, dude. Tank Bran, even at level 80, he should be pretty tanky, but I guess it's a tier 11. But yeah, he just like gets 2-shot by everything. It's kind of crazy. It was still possible to muddle through it, but man, I was dropping Spirit Link Totem to save Bran a lot. So yeah, okay, I did 1 key on this guy. Loot spec, yeah, Ellie's fine. Probably don't really want a healer trinket anyways. Not an M+ healer trinket. There are shoulders. They're not tier, but they're still shoulders. The other option here being a Goblin Grenade, which I don't think is especially desirable. So yeah, we'll take these shoulders. They're Crit Mastery shoulders as well, so I'm not sure. I'll probably end up catalyzing this. I don't want to catalyze just yet, because again, I don't have a lot of catalyst charges just yet, so... I guess I could put on 2-piece right now. Catalyze this and my helmet. Yeah, my old tier is all really low item level on this character, so... that's why it's good to be getting on it early, right? Get on gearing the rats early in the season, so that they'll be just in time getting close to good gear when the new season rolls around, and then they're again rats going into the new season. But they're fun. It's fun to play rats. It's kind of just fun to do... I'd say it's fun to do the delves, although this character I'm logging onto right now... My Priest, the delves were actually so painful on Shadow Priest for me. I'm not sure if it's a gear issue, but it felt like so much of the difficulty was just like kiting and getting auto-attacked. That's kind of always been my problem with delves on DPS specs, but Shadow Priest in particular has pretty bad tools to deal with, you know, just getting run down, getting autoed. There are some mobs as well that you just don't have kick coverage for on Shadow. Like I did this, the Underkeep, and the version I did had an end boss that would cast like every 30 seconds, and I can't kick every 30 seconds, so that was really painful. But yeah, it's I don't know. On some of my characters, the delves are pretty fun. I wish they would balance more of the damage out of the auto attacks, even on like a tier 11. I just feel like the difficulty should be dodging some swirlies or frontals or whatever, and less just dying to auto attacks and needing to kite and like use the terrain to, you know, bug the mobs into chasing you weird or whatever, which is how I ended up doing it. Either way, though, we also did a key, so could have something good in the M+ slots. Loot spec, let's go Shadow. Yeah, good. Don't really want a healer trinket. Ooh, this is a really good necklace for a lot of specs, including, I believe, Shadow Priest. I mean, haste heavy, secondary mastery is pretty much BIS for, like, most casters. This is going to be a BIS configuration of secondaries for. I believe Shadow is also interested in, like, crit, but pretty sure this is going to be a fine big upgrade here, so yeah, pretty happy with that. That item is one that I know that necklace in particular is one that a lot of people are hunting this season. I didn't do anything on my Evoker, didn't do anything on my Warlock, did do something on my Rogue. My Rogue did a Keystone, and also some Delves. Delves are pretty fun on Rogue, because there are a lot of them where you just stealth around and you don't actually have to do that much, which is nice. And then you also have a lot of burst. Now, I was playing Assassination last week, and I'm going to be even more playing Assassination this week because it got buffed. So, my spec... The reason I did so little damage in this key was that they hadn't buffed me yet. I I also picked up a Mechanocore amplifier from one of my delves, from the scrambler that I did. Yeah, really hoping for... I don't even know what we're hoping for. I guess a dagger? Yeah, just a big dagger from the M+ row here. Okay, Mythic Pants. That's pretty good as well. Yeah, ooh, there's a good statted ring here, the Verse Crit. Actually, that's not even good stats anymore for Assassination. Assassination now, I think, is a Mastery Enjoyer. But yeah, we'll take these Mythic Pants and maybe catalyze some 2-piece. I don't have anything good to catalyze at any of my other tier slots, I guess, so... I guess I can just put these on. And then put on old tier shoulders. And then we still have 4-piece. I got it, dude, my add-on as well. I don't know what add-on it is, but it doesn't remind me if my pants are not enchanted, so I have to remember that. Armor kit. Stormbound. One of those. And then... Alright, set. Yeah, if I don't enchant my boots, I'll be reminded of it, but my pants don't get the reminder for some reason, so... Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good outcome there. Let's see what this catalyzes into as well. Could be good stats. Yeah, crit mastery, basically the same stats after the catalyst. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I just need to get some more tier on this guy or wait for some catalyst charges. I also need to get some catalyzable pieces as well, so... yeah, gonna be waiting a little while on that, because the free catalyst charge requires, like, doing most of the dungeons on +10, or I think it's like 6 dungeons on +10. Here's this add-on Alter Ego, which... tracks. One of the nice things it tracks which dungeons you've done. It shows you your score as well. So yeah, you can see this character's done 5 +10s and is at 1651. So I actually need to do, you need to do 7 +10s to get to 2k, or like 6 +10s if one of them is an 11 or 12 or something. Like 2 11s and 4 10s would get you 2k, and that would get you the catalyst charge. Or you can do like if you just do every dungeon at like 7 or something, I think you get it as well. So yeah, that's the plan. These 4 characters have the free catalyst charge already from killing heroic Gallywix, and then these 2 I'm trying to get 2k on. So I'm just trying to make sure that I pick up the dungeons that they're missing, so that I can get the catalyst charge on those. And then these 4 characters, the ones that I just did some delve stuff on last week, they're the ones that may or may not do anything on any given week. And then these are kind of my lowest prio characters this season so far. But, yeah, maybe I'll change it around. Maybe I'll do delves on these instead of some of these. Something like that. This week is Dungeon Week, again, as I mentioned at the top of the video. So Dungeon Week is really good for me because that means that other people need dungeons as well. And when people need dungeons, sometimes, especially when keys are kind of easy like this season, they don't mind you sneaking a rat into a key or two. So that might well be what happens. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope your vaults have been as good as mine. I think I had some pretty good run of luck this week on the vaults. I think I got, on my most important character, I got pants and chest, which were basically the biggest things I could find there. The only thing that would have maybe been better would have been like a great mythic trinket of some kind. And then got a bunch of other pretty lucky loot as well. Got the weapon on my Druid. So yeah, can't complain. Great week for the vaults. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.